Okay, what are basic formulas? Basic formulas within Excel use cell references, for example, A1, which would be A and 1, or B3, for example, B and 3, and it uses the operators, which could be plus, minus, divide, or multiply in order to calculate a new value in another cell. You can also work out percentages by using basic formulas. This occurs by dividing the number of the single value with the total value and either multiplying by 100 or using the percentage format tool. What we're going to do now is add a few formulas which are basically using the basic operators in order to calculate values. For example, the kid's price of food, it's a percentage of the adults, so it is equals the percentage times by the adult price. And we can do the same for the next area. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the cells that I've actually changed the formulas in by making them yellow. This one here again equals the kid's cost times by the adult's cost. Enter. And I'll do the same with the last cell. Equals kids cost, percentage of kids cost times by the adult's cost. Let's just try that again. Equals kids cost times by the adult's cost. All those three cells now are updated whenever the adult's cost gets updated. I also need to look at the number of bottles of wine and give me the actual overall bottles of wine. So if I look at this cell here, it is the number of bottles of wine times by the cost of a bottle of wine, which at the moment is $12. So we update that value, we get 6588. Again, that's been updated. Number of bottles of soft drink times by the price of a soft drink bottle. We can do the same here. So we say equals 338 bottles times by $3.50. So that's another cell which uses the basic operators. We also need to know the actual event cost total per adult. The event cost total per adult is $24.41, but we can also use the basic operators to say it is the event total cost divided by the number of adults, and that's $24.41. But that means if I update the number of adults or the number of kids, it'll actually change this value. The other values that we've got here, which can also be using basic operators, would be a total drinks cost. Actually, yeah, the total drinks cost could also be a sum formula, so we'll use a sum formula for that one. But a whole hire cost, this one is just a lookup. If I want to find the whole hire, I actually can just look up this value here, and I can just do a direct link. I want it to equal the value that's in I-24. So if the I-24 value changes, then this value will change. Same with the band, I can do the same thing by saying equals, and then using my mouse to highlight the band cost. And I can enter that in as well. So that's $900. All of those values have been entered in, and those are all related to basic formulas. The other thing I'm going to do is show you how to calculate a percentage. Total drinks cost as a percentage of the overall cost is the total drinks cost, which is in cell B11, divided by the total cost, the event total cost. I push enter, and I have a percentage. If that percentage value did not appear, I could also click on this number percentage. I can do the same for total food cost, equals total food cost, divided by the total cost. Gives me 65.444, and I can also make it 65%. Same with the haul hire, equals the haul hire divided by the overall cost. Again, that would be about 3%. And finally, the band cost equals $900 divided by the event total. And that gives me a total of, again, about 3%. So all of this adds up, if you can see down here, to a sum of 100%. And all of these are what would be known as basic functions that you can use in Excel. It's taking a specific value of one cell using an operator, which could be multiplied, divide, plus or minus, and then using it on another cell. So if you ever want to do any pluses or minuses, you can use the basic operators within Excel to calculate your values.